I'm Kathy Kelly. I'm a co-coordinator of Voices for Creative Nonviolence. And here in Chicago, the taxi cab drivers have helped connect us to places all over the earth. And many of the people who've come here with their families are people who might have chosen to stay in their own homes, but they were afflicted by warfare. And I've been in Afghanistan recently, and I was with a young man who, in his memory, recalls having carried his 2-year-old brother on his shoulders while the family split in different directions. In fact, the Taliban had attacked their village, and they had no choice. Everybody had to flee. It was an icy winter night. Some people slipped down the mountainside, and they didn't have time to go and collect those people. And so all of the villagers harbor a tremendous trauma. But I suppose Hamajan, maybe more than most, has I guess we'd call it PTSD. And when you talk to him, sometimes the villagers think, is he perhaps possessed by a demon? Because he'll stop and he'll pause and he'll stare for a long time. And I think sometimes he experiences severe depression. And so he was telling me a bit about the potato chip factory that these potato farmers are really trying to make a go of. And he went into one of those long pauses, and then he kind of came out of it, and he said, war does this to your mind. And I think that many people here understand what Hamajan was talking about, that war does this to your mind. And I've been at the bedsides of children whose bodies have been torn apart by war, or been guided into the devastated remains of what were once villages following an aerial bombardment, or sat with people who had, like Hamajan and his family, to run as fast as they could to get away from the bullets and the bombs. And more recently, I remember being at a hospital in Kabul, and for some reason, a young boy mistook me for being a doctor. He thought I was a German doctor, and he came up to me and he said, I think I have lost my eye forever, and then repeated it as though he were trying to convince himself of this horrible new reality. I think I have lost my eye forever. And many of the people that are the Chicago taxi cab drivers, they understand. And sometimes they have to help their families understand. War does this to your mind. And sometimes it's something we can't even understand ourselves. And so I hope that the taxi cab drivers, in their struggle to unionize, in their struggle for very basic fairness, and to overcome some of the real prejudices that are expressed against people who mean us no harm and do us a great deal of good, I hope that they'll together find that strength that can accomplish great good for their own unionizing, but also that their unionizing can represent a really truthful symbol, like just as though there's one blue sky above us and one blood runs through all of our veins. We are all part of one another.